And we're back here once again with another episode of the MSK show, and this is going to be episode 190. So I hope you guys had a great day, and I hope you guys have a great weekend as well. Go outside and be with your family and go to a carnival, a festival, go out and watch a movie, go out to dinner, but just do this for me. Don't stay inside. But I do prefer staying inside because going outside is overrated. But alas, we are back here once again on Friday. Lunchbox Warren, who's our, current DEI hire of the show, he replaced Last Comic Fan, a white guy. I never thought in my millions of years I replaced a white guy with a black guy. Never happened. I wasn't playing, guys. It just kind of happened that way. But tonight on the MSK show, we're going to be doing a comic book review on Absolute Wonder Woman #3. And that's a gorgeous cover right there. And then later on, we're going to be talking about a Spider-Man and Wolverine duo comic book series coming up very, very soon. I forgot if it's going to be a mini series or a new ongoing series, actually. But, two of Marvel's biggest characters, obviously in a duo comic, probably, oh my God, the sales on the #1 are going to be absolutely insane, honestly. The variant covers are going to be just, oh my God, Marvel. If I should show you guys the amount of variant covers that Ultimate Wolverine #1 had. Ultimate Spider-Man #1 had 33 covers. If you count the main one, it had 32. No, sorry, 34. It had around 30 plus covers. It had so many reprints.
That is ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
30. Now, keep on. A lot of those are reprints because, it kept getting sold out so hard to the point where, they just kept reprinting it because stores kept ordering it. And now you also see Ultimate Spider-Man Married with Children Volume 1 selling very well because people realize, well, I can just collect the first 6 issues in a trade and just read them that way. And then considering that first book is so good, you can just reread that over and over again. So they realized, hey, we should probably start reprinting Ultimate Spider-Man #1 now that the trade is here. And I guarantee you the second trade, which just dropped, is going to be a high seller as well. I did end up buying it on my pull list. And I also got Ultimate Spider-Man by Brian Michael Bendis, Epic Collection Volume 1, because I don't want to be in a position 5 years from now where I was like, man, I could have got that Volume 1 Epic Collection from Brian Michael Bendis for Ultimate Spider-Man, and I didn't do it. Epic Collections, guys, go out of print very fast. They sell extremely fast because people, contrary to popular belief, maybe don't like going and hunting down a lot of back issues. Maybe if you could just give them to them all at once, they just prefer collecting them that way, actually, So, also make sure when you go and get characters for Epic Collections for Marvel that when certain characters have a starting point, make sure it's a actual starting point Volume 1, because Doctor Strange has that too, where I think they renumbered it weirdly, where there's 2 Volume 1s in the Doctor Strange Epic Collection series, but one of the Volume 1s is where it actually starts at, and the actual starting ones can vary in price. You have a better chance collecting Spider-Man Epic Collections over omnibuses, because to get the Amazing Fantasy omnibus, which is where he first appears in the Amazing Fantasy issue number 15, that's a lot of money. So it was crazy. I actually looked into Amazing Spider-Man Epic Collection volume pricing. It's very good. It's actually really, really cheap, honestly. It's crazy. I was like, damn, you could actually collect them from a Volume 1, $40-$50 and just get them over time if you really want to. But keep in mind, which is crazy, because Spider-Man should be the most expensive character to collect. No, it's actually X-Men. I couldn't get past the first X-Men Epic Collection because Volume 2 for the Epic Collection cost so much money. Guys, that shit was $230. I'm not kidding you. That shit is out of print. Yeah, a lot of them don't have second printings because some of the Epic Collections, because they go in order. If a certain character has a popular arc in whatever Epic Collection, they'll sell out so hard. Iron Man, you can't really find Volume 3. It took me a while to find Volume 3, actually hard. I had to constantly search for it. I barely ended up snagging it. Every other book is kind of easy to get, but Volume 3 was hard. Iron Man recently has been getting some omnibuses. He's on Volume 4 right now. I have the first one over there. So, man, Marvel, they need a better reprint structure, man.
Well, they need to do more mass printing, and there's really, you create these bottlenecks that cause the collector market to go up on these things. by not producing more of them. But if there's that much of a demand where people are paying $200 or $300, Marvel should be mass printing these suckers out and getting it to more hands as possible. But they didn't me.
Because if I don't know if people know this, I still play Yu-Gi-Oh! Obviously, I still love the game. Konami, you could tell, has a reprint structure. Like they will generally reprint things in various times. Like they generally reprint stuff within like March, April time period. Then they usually reprint stuff around national period. Then obviously you have the tins, which are just literally glorified reprint sets. Obviously, there's reprint sets throughout the year, but you know at some point shit is getting reprinted based off the consistent line of reprint sets coming out. Guys, comic books do not function that way. Nobody knows when shit's getting second printings or third printings. The only thing where you can kind of count on things having reprints is second printings of floppies. So like, you know, second, third, fourth printings of floppies generally start popping off, but like that's the only consistent thing, and that only works when like, you know, certain characters are selling and certain characters are
actually, Absolute Batman's like on its 11th printing or something.
That's fucking crazy. That's insane.
I know, it's nuts.
Also, on my comic book channel, I ended up debuting my first episode of Comic Book Market Watch, actually. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't know if I'll be able to do a second episode this week, but primarily I kind of want to make it once or twice a week. And then when I get back to my groove, because that's the kind of content I was making on my first YouTube channel, because I said that in the video, I'm going to try and do it more consistently. At most, I kind of want to do it like 3 times a week, but I think having 1 or 2 episodes a week right now to kind of get in the groove of things is a good thing, actually, you know? So I do hope you guys enjoyed it. I did work on it. As you can see, it's an almost hour-long video. I really wanted to make sure the first one just was an absolute banger for you guys, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. You know, it's a video that I worked on quite a bit, so... But it doesn't matter, because you have to kind of start somewhere, and you have to kind of start at a point where, okay, people know this is the thing on your channel, and they know it's going to exist, and they can constantly, you know, keep coming back to see it, honestly. So,
oh yeah, consistency and content will get you more people. It just takes time to grow.
Yeah, it's crazy. A lot of smaller creators are like, man, how do I get out of this like spot that I'm in? You just have to just push through it. That's really just all it is. You just have to keep doing it. Like, guys, even for me, there are videos that even I put out, and I have a decent sized audience myself, but not everyone's going to watch those videos. It's weird that people generally think because you have an audience that everyone's going to watch everything you do. And that only applies when you're bigger. When you're a bigger creator and you have like 30,000 plus subs or whatever, or like 10,000 plus subs, people will just kind of watch whatever you're going to put out because they just generally like you. But smaller creators don't have that. You know, you have to kind of fight tooth and nail to kind of get to a point where, you know, people want to watch your videos all the time and hear you at any time you watch a video. Like right when you drop that video, you want them to watch it. So smaller creators, you have to kind of like, you know, work to getting to that point, you know, because generally what I've kind of understood with a lot of people, the reason why it's hard to get attached to new people is because you just don't know if they're going to stay around. Like a lot of people start it, they kind of quit it because they're just not seeing the results. They thought it was really easy, which is, if people think it's easy doing this, you're out of your mind. I mean, it's not hard, but it's like the way that people think things work when they're not a content creator versus when they are one and they actually go through it. It's 2 totally different mindsets. Actually, it's actually fascinating to see people go, well, why didn't your favorite content creator do this? Well, you know, the ins and outs of certain things are way different when you're actually doing it compared to a person just kind of like sitting on the sidelines, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Oof. Emily said, I saw the video on the comic book channel. I like the style of video. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I used to do that a long time ago. I was it's natural at doing it. It's just when it comes to comic books, I realized that I'm gonna have to make that video probably in advance most of the time before it comes out on Comic Book Wednesday, or I might drop it on Tuesday. Is because there's so many books coming out, generally speaking, that there's a lot to talk about. Like there's not too many weeks in the comic book year where there's not anything coming out. There was, I think I can count about 3 weeks so far throughout my entire time doing this, where there's been weeks where there's been no books to like 2 books. There was a week I bought a single floppy and a little small Marvelverse book, And I bought it from mycomicshop.com, but I realized I could have just bought that shit on like eBay. It just not even went through that. But I like supporting the comic book shop, so that's why I did it. It's a little bit of extra in shipping, but it doesn't matter, honestly. So that's the reason why I did it. It's because I want to be a part of the reason why the shops are still around. But some of these guys don't do you any favors when they're fucking keeping people on the damn pull list constantly that aren't paying their fucking bills. Honestly, your pull list subscription, guys, is a bill. You need to make sure you're paying it. So we're gonna be getting into a lot of different shenanigans here. We're gonna be talking about hot ladies' favorite sex positions. I'm joking, but how you doing, man? How was your day, dude?
Oh, day was good. I got all of the layouts done for issue 4. Just started putting them over onto Clip Studio.
Ooh, that's good.
The files ready to start doing the penciling, so I'm getting excited for that.
Man, I was thinking about the whole indie comic book creator interviews I used to do, and most of them came out pretty good for the most part. But I don't know if I would ever just go into it and deep dive like how I did before back in 2023 when you met me, because I was thinking about it today. It's one of the most. I want to make sure I preface this here. Anybody comes back and watches this years on, like, we got that guy, we got you. I'm not saying I did any of that for like recognition. I'm not saying I did any of it because I wanted anything out of someone, like financial gain or whatever. But I will say that it's really weird that, man, I had so many people on. I was doing some of these literally 3 a day, 5 a day. One time I knocked it out. One day I knocked out 5 one-on-ones and a panel show that lasted about 2 hours. But then I saw that no one would really like tag me in some of their posts for guys that like had indie creators on their shows to promote them. Like, it was mostly just one guy that was doing it. It's so weird that I spent all that time promoting all these people and doing all that stuff, and then not a single mention on Twitter at all about like, hey, this is the guy you want to come to if you want to get your book promoted. I get it. Audience size here is not big enough to the point where I can get you a ton of backers, but you can obviously come on and have a good time and talk and potentially maybe convince a few people to back. I think if you can get 1 or 2 people to back your book, it's better than getting 0.
Well, if you get 1 backer, it's worth it. And I noticed this with creators too. I always tell younger creators when they ask me for advice, it's like, there's no such thing as like a community. Everyone is so wrapped up in their own stuff that you're never, it's very rare that you see someone who's like appreciates, or if they do offer you a helping hand, it's more along the lines of because of something they need. So, I've gotten kind of real like solo protective in my years doing this so far, just because of the way the community has treated me or treated others around me, or what I see with it. And it's so weird too, because we all know how hard it is to do this shit. You think we would have no problem. Like, I like it when someone likes my shit and shares it. And then, so I try to go out of my way to do it. And hopefully those people are like, well, hey, it makes me feel great. Let me go do it for somebody else. There's none of that shit, though. There's 0 of that. There's 0 of people who are doing that kind of stuff. So you really can't expect anything back from any of these indie creators. Just if you put them on the show, you get your content, you have a good time, you interview, but don't expect much else after that. The way I always look at it.
Yeah,
kind of
like
pessimistic way, but it's just
and I just want to make sure I reiterate this again. I did not do any of those shows because I just wanted anything out of it or anything like that. I just enjoy doing them mostly because it adds extra episodes of the show, get some very cool conversations. My only real critique would be like the reason why I would think certain people's books can't sell, not even because the stuff is bad, but because when you see them on like shows and shit, they're just like, I don't know, not really interactive. They don't really know how to talk very well. Like, they're very just, man, I had a few of them where I was surprised they even got to an hour because I'm just sitting here pulling teeth. Like, when I did this show, when I told myself, if that ever happens, I'm out. I don't care if it's a minute. I don't care if we're at 40 minutes. I'm leaving. Like, because if you yourself basically kind of, aren't interested in having a conversation, or you're giving like one word answers, or you feel like you're not getting anything out of it, then I'm leaving. Because why am I wasting my valuable free time talking to some fucking loser who can't speak at all, can't talk very well, and a person that looks like they've never thought out their thoughts ever? Like, what the fuck?
It's an acquired talent too, being able to market. Some people say, like, if you can't talk about your comic, you're not passionate about it. It's like, no, it's a sales pitch, and the sales pitch takes time, takes practice. I didn't realize how much of a pain in the ass marketing was. Hey, John's Long Box, how's it going?
Hey, John, how you doing, man? I'll be honest, man, I have not looked yet. I will try to look for it. What I need you to do is send me a picture of what the box would look like. Maybe that would kind of help me out, because there's a lot of boxes in here. I had a lot of them downstairs too. Because, some would say that I have a lot of comic books, actually. I have to work on getting a new shelf. So you guys know these two shelves are here. That one, that white one right there, that's completely full. This one is getting to the point where it is going to be full. So I'm probably going to have to work on getting a new shelf very soon after I pay off some of these PayPal Pay in 4s. Your boy's going to be kind of restricted for a while about what he's buying. Because I told you guys I bought that big thing because I've been working really, really hard to buy that big thing. I did it. Well, I'm buying it under paying it off. So, I have to pay it off, and it will be done by the 1st of May. Everything, all the PayPal 4s will be paid off. I want to just get all these paid off and the big thing, and then just kind of start over, basically just kind of, move to Antarctica, build an igloo and start talking to snow bears. I'm joking. So, like, I just want to get these PayPal Pay in 4s paid off, and just, fucking get this big thing paid off. I'm still going to get my pull list. I'm still going to always do that, because, we need the books here because we review them, and, well, I like getting them. It's a thing that I've had a part of my life for a very, very long time at this point. Not going to stop, basically as long as I just don't fucking buy DoorDash or eat out ridiculously all the time, then it'll be fine. I already have it all mapped out in my head, just not looking at my bank account for quite some time, but it's okay. It's fine. I have the tools to cope with whatever life throws at me. But no, like some of them were very, very good. Like some of the one-on-ones were just fucking fantastic. Like the ones with Mugen Lord or Joem Sontag were, in my opinion, some of the best ones. Or the ones I had with John A. Douglas. The ones with John's Longbox were very good. Like those would be like my top 4. The ones with John's Longbox, John Douglas, Joem Sontag, and Mugen Lord were the best ones. They were absolutely just the best ones.
Well, there's a lot of good talkers out there, a lot of good people, interviewers. I've been on a few shows, and I've really had a fun time. I really haven't had that many bad ones. Maybe earlier on, there was one where the guy had never read my book. Dilly didn't care about my book. And I was trying my best to do like this whole sales pitch and talk about the story. And then he was just like, oh, let me talk about my dog over here. And he would like start petting the dog, and someone would walk behind him. And I'm just like, oh, wow, you don't even give a shit. There were some rough ones.
Oh, I forgot. I forgot. The ones we had were very good. I was like, yeah, this is a light-skinned black man with his head on his shoulder. He's not doing the gangbang stuff. God, man. But like, it feels like every day on Twitter you see it, where like this kind of space, the indie space, is not really understanding various things. Like a lot of them, the number one thing is they're always asking, like, why did people come back and check out my book too? Well, there's various reasons for that. People think it's like such in black and white ways. I'll never get it, but it's always just black and white, people. It's never like these other intricate things were required that maybe you didn't think about. One thing is maybe maybe the people that you sent the books to read it, didn't like it, didn't tell you, because people in this space can be kind of sensitive when it comes to criticism at all. We've seen it, they just willingly chose with their wallet to not back the second one, or they just didn't read it, which is what a lot of times happens, and then they just didn't care to buy the next one.
Yeah, some people just buy your book just to support you. Like, I've had people buy my book, and I know they never read it. They don't read comic books. They're just being nice, I'll take their money because it's been the same, but some people just do it out of there. And plus, too, it's about how people digest it. They, like you said, they might have read it, didn't like it, or they read it, and then when number 2 comes around, they're just don't have the money to be able to do it, or they're already spent their limit on other stuff. I mean, we have a very irregular output on our books, and that's why some people, you never know, like you might get the whole thing done, do a graphic novel, and it sells way more than any of your floppies did because you find a market amongst these graphic novel readers. I mean, it's one beautiful thing about creating this stuff is that it never goes bad. It doesn't have a shelf life. So I could create Sig and Joe 1-4, create a graphic novel. 2 years from now, I might all of a sudden catch on in some fan base and build up like 100, 200, 300 followers. You never know. I mean, it's all about it's just you just keep pushing, you just keep creating, and then
because people don't realize this. Like literally, when you make your first 2 or 3 issues into a trade, just because the first issue didn't pop off, maybe it'll pop off later on too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it may pop off later when you get that full graphic novel done. It may be when you get the second one done and people read the first one, go down to the second, they're like, oh wow, this guy's really got his pace now. I like this shit. You never know. Or it might be your next project.
We'll be suing. Did I say we'll be suing? Yeah, guys, I'm gonna be suing Michael. Good Lord. I can't speak, guys. I'm be suing Michael for being black. No, we'll be doing that soon. I did not forget. I have it written down. And as you guys know, I never forget anything. My brain remembers everything, actually. I am just literally a fucking genius. But yeah, that's the thing is, I'll have on indie creators that I know I can get a good show out of, but going out and venturing and messaging people constantly is just... Nope. I think I'm not saying those days are behind me, but I'm just very selective about who I'm going to have on the show because, it's like, damn, we got to have an interactive conversation. It's like, I can't be sitting here pulling teeth with motherfuckers. That is just not happening.
And business wise, you have to create content. And if you have an audience that's like, hey, I like it when you bring these indie guys on, you bring them on and you get your content. You don't bring an indie guy on thinking he's going to bring you like 100 new subscribers because because then you're talking about a guy who's probably not indie anymore. He's starting to move into that higher echelon. But yeah, I mean, it's just you bring them on if the people like it and you get views, then you do it. If they don't, then you stop doing it.
Oh, because I know you wanted to briefly go over like the Diamond. What was it? Diamond distributor situation. Like, man, that's just good fucking hell. That's just a lot, honestly. But I think the main crux of it all is there was the guy who ran it, Steve Jeppy. I mean, you could tell from like the things that I saw kind of behind the scenes, like when I was kind of just looking at stuff from like the outside point of view, it looks like he was just very confident that he could just run the entire comic book industry on a monopoly because Diamond was the only person that everyone ever went to. Then you had Jim Lee, who at one point, left with DC and took their business to Lunar. I think it was Lunar, right? Then Marvel soon left, I think Penguin Random House, whatever. And then they didn't have the big two anymore, Well, keep in mind, guys, Marvel was going to stay there anyway because, Marvel is just, they don't give a fuck, honestly, personally. They wanted to leave because DC did it. And because, if DC's doing it, then we have to one-up DC in some way. It's probably what their mindset was. And we're now at a point where Todd McFarlane is in talks to basically kind of buy Diamond Distributor. I think that's what I heard as a rumor.
It's the rumors about it. There's been nothing been verified yet by Todd or anyone, but the rumors are that he is could have possibly put in a bid, and everything is speculation after that. I know Diamond had been. There's many pros in the industry who said Diamond was on this track to be for what's happening, for the bankruptcy to fall apart because they just weren't managed very well. My comic shop that I go to, he received an order from Diamond and practically all the books were damaged. I guess Diamond's been having a problem with that, paying people. It's just it was something that's been happening for quite a long time. And building up to this point, it's just devastating because they were a monopoly cornerstone of the publishing business, So now, yes, the big two, or technically the big three, Image, DC, and Marvel, they are all taken care of.
Image went through Diamond too. Didn't they? I think they did.
They were through Diamond. I didn't they switch over to Luna, or they?
I think they recently switched over to Lunar. Yeah, I
Yeah,
figured they were with
Lunar.
Diamond for a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you can tell a bunch of people are gonna be moving to Image Comics very soon, guys. Like there was a guy I had on here, no names. Pretty sure you guys can guess who it was. Someone told me that they heard a rumor that Jim Lee was going to be leaving DC, and I didn't believe it. It didn't make any sense. Like Jim Lee's never leaving DC, guys. You know, yes, he did leave DC at one point when the Image Comics was founded, but he came back because he's, has some lazy tendencies. Let's just say that, where now you have people that I can't believe he told me that. He's like, I heard a rumor that Jim Lee's going to be leaving DC. I'm like, the back of my head, I was like, I don't believe that guy. It's not happening. And lo and behold, guys, Jim Lee's not left DC. I think he'll leave DC when he retires, but that's not like, that's way different than hearing a rumor that he's going to abruptly leave DC, right?
Yeah, I mean, unless they fire him because he doesn't do a great job. I mean, but it's Jim Lee still, like his Hush book is probably going to make their year by itself. So
yeah. Keep in mind, guys, DC firing Jim Lee is like, because what you just right there, him not doing his job. He doesn't do his job right now, and they literally don't fire him at all. So I wouldn't really expect DC Comics to fire Jim Lee when he already doesn't do jack shit anyway. Like he literally doesn't do jack shit. So if not doing jack shit doesn't get you fired, I don't know what will, honestly. But, you do have Hush 2 coming up. And on Tuesday, this week coming up with me and Last Comic Fan, we're going to be doing a comic book review on the Batman Hush trade paperback. It's the one where you have the bandages and, it's not the one where you have like the Joker and Harley Quinn on it. It's the main trade paperback that everyone has actually. We're going to be reviewing that on Tuesday. No topics on Tuesday. Because that book is so big to the point where I don't think we'll have time for topics, honestly. I mean, I might put one there, but given when we're going through the book, I'll probably see like, okay, is this going to be worth the time to have a topic added to the show? Because usually when it's a floppy, it's like 24 pages, 28 pages, right? You can review it. We'd take like 20, 25 minutes to do it, honestly. And then you're thinking, okay, we talk for a little bit longer after the review's over, do a topic, and it's like, okay, we have enough time for both here. Because the reason why it's structured like that is because we have enough time to freely talk like this, then the review, right? Then the topic, so it doesn't feel like we're like going overboard. But a book as big as that, holy fucking shit. That book is huge. I want to show you guys how big that book is. That's right here. This is the one we're reviewing. This one. Everyone knows what this is.
Mm-hmm.
This book, I don't know how many pages this book is, but this book, how many issues in here? 608 to 619. Isn't that 8? No. Fuck, that's 9 issues in there. Yeah, it's 9 issues.
Yeah,
this is about
200 probably.
Because the DC Absolute Power hardcover was 200 pages exactly. And I read that in an hour, 30 minutes. My brain was fried, and I loved every minute of it. My brain was fried at the end. So this is around, like you said, this will be about 200, 250 pages. Yeah, so if I don't have a topic scheduled for me and Lap's comic book show on Tuesday for the MSK show, that's because we're reviewing this. And coming up later on, we're going to be hopefully able to review Heart of Hush. And after that, we'll go into Hush 3, or as Jim Lee calls it, Hush 2, actually. But yeah, we're finally going to be diving into this book. Is just so beautifully illustrated. Oh my God. Just look at this. It's so beautifully illustrated. How will you... There's no story as beautifully illustrated as Batman Hush. Story-wise, we'll see where it goes.
It's better than All Stars.
I get. Yeah. Also, I want to announce this for you guys as well on here. Coming up in July, since DC Comics has their own Summer of Superman event, I thought we would have one here for the Man of Steel. Like, all of us love Superman here. One of the very first superheroes we've ever come to know and love. Figured we do our own Summer of Superman event here on the MSK show. Probably have us go over, like, depending on which books we own, obviously depending on that. We'll go over various Superman stories here, like All-Star Superman. Pretty sure we should do that one first, because that's the comic book series based on the new movie, and that's written by Grant Morrison. And I think we'll do Superman Secret Origin. That's written by Jeff Johns. What else is there? You have the new Superman run by Joshua Williamson. People said that's really, really good. So I'll have to kind of pick like 5 Superman stories that we could just go over here on the channel. Those 3 I want to cover because those 3, you have a relatively new one, which a lot of people are probably reading. So you covering the new basis, then covering a creator like Jeff Johns, who've, to say he didn't do anything in the industry is crazy, right? People love Jeff Johns. People like that secret origin story. Oh, John Byrne Superman. I forgot. I have the John Byrne Superman. I have that one. So maybe we'll add in 4 there. So we're going to have to talk about that. Which Superman stories do we cover for our Summer of Superman event? Hey, if DC can have one, so can we. I love my big blue Boy Scout. Love my Man of Steel. And so that's crazy, man. People call him an illegal alien. Guys, he's not illegal. He was adopted by the Kents and raised as an American.
He was given his citizenship early on in the comics. He's fine. Plus, it's Superman. He lives where he wants.
Yeah, I mean, if someone calls him an illegal alien, probably be like, "What the fuck's wrong with you, weirdo?"
I'll punch you into space.
Dude, did you see that video on that New York subway where that lady got mad at that one Mexican guy for wearing a Trump hat, and then she was calling him a racist, but the black guy filming it was saying to her a bunch of things like, "You're the reason why he's here because of people like you," and she's just having this like weird Democratic liberal panic attack.
Just another meltdown.
Just a random meltdown on the subway. Everyone's got their headphones.
By your hat.
Yeah, like people have their headphones in. People just aren't listening, caring. And then he was telling her, "I'm well educated." He was being very respectful, despite her being a complete bitch to him. So he was getting off because he was coming at him weirdly. So she tried to take his hat and she chased him and she fell. And then the friend filmed her falling. Oh, it was God. That's awesome. That's karma. Yeah. Fucking hell, dude. Why though? Like they think because they're dementally retarded that everyone else is like dementally retarded as them. I'll never get it. Honestly.
Well, they spent they're a bunch of mentally ill patients who are super sensitive, and they've been spent the last 4 to 8 years being told that he's the devil incarnate, and then now they fucking believe it, and now he's in charge, and they're just freaking the hell out. I love watching the YouTube freakouts because it just makes me feel better about myself. Like a good compilation video of liberals just wigging out.
God, man. Just the AOC bug outs are funny. God damn. I hope she is. God, she's such a moron. I don't know if she's paid to be this stupid because no one can just be this stupid willingly. You have to just be
AOC?
This stupid. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but she's so hot though.
Right? God, man. Women that beautiful always tend to be randomly progressives. And it's oh my God.
She has got a fat ass. With all due respect, Congresswoman.
Would you? I'm just saying, if she was like, "Hey, you put your face in there and see what it tastes like," I'm just like, okay, let's do it.
Tastes like freedom.
Oh God. But also tonight, later on, hopefully we'll be able to get to a third topic. But do I have 3 topics set? I'm joking. So hopefully later on we'll be able to get to a second topic. The next one I do want to cover is the whole comic book artist pay rate thing. So apparently, because it was rumored for a while, these numbers, but no, apparently these numbers have been revealed. And we've probably got to talk about them because, man, Marvel, oh my God. Guys, it's been revealed, and we'll go over it in a video. Maybe not in this episode, but another future one. Oh my God, Marvel, Jesus Christ. Apparently, guys, Marvel pays less than fast food places. Yep. So if you worked at like a Starbucks or a Burger King or a McDonald's or a Panda Express or a Subway or a Five Guys or a Chick-fil-A, you make more money than a comic book artist who potentially made you a character that you've enjoyed your entire life and consumed like animation episodes, live action, movies, TV. You probably have a toy of that favorite character you love. You probably have like comic books. You probably have movies. That's ridiculous.
The person drawing Spider-Man has a day job. Just let that sink in.
That doesn't happen. What's crazy is it never happens in novels or books, right? Yeah. When a person creates a great book that everyone reads, that motherfucker's a filthy rich millionaire. Well, if you get to that 1%, right? But like an average novelist can make more money than a comic book writer. Like if you just wrote a novel and it sold decently well, I'd imagine you'd make not like a good living, but it's still mostly a hobby. But well, at least you own your IP. At least it's yours, right?
Yeah, that's the big one. Is you own the IP, you get a better cut. The problem is consistency. You know, like you put a book out, it does great, and you get good sales for 3 months. Well, then you better have another book ready, or you're not going to have any more money coming in. So it depends on that consistency, how long it can like not only how many you sell, but how consistently you can sell and make that money, make money. So whether but novelists, you can end up making more. I don't know how it is the rates for like shadow writers or whatever they call those.
Oh, ghostwriters, yeah.
Ghostwriters, or you're writing someone else's owned IP.
Mm-hmm.
But I know most novelists are writing their own shit and then they're getting it out there. So you're making that higher end cash on it. Comics is weird that way because I'm working on something, but you can sell a novel for $20. It's hard to sell a comic book for $20 unless it's a graphic novel. And if it's a graphic novel, then you put in like 4 issues worth of work. We're talking 24-page issues at 8 to 10 hours of work per page, not counting writing and lettering. That's just art. So, you're talking about thousands of hours into a product, and then you could sell it, but you're going to be selling it like really slow. And it all depends on how many people know you and how well you are talking and building an audience, consistency, and it's
all these Kickstarters and Indiegogo campaigns are $25 to $30 plus. That's why I had to not back as many as I was back in the day. I luckily never had an incident where I didn't get the book. I randomly just backed a Godlike reprint book on John Malin's Godlike 2 campaign because I wanted to be in the position of waiting for something for 5 years. I wanted to do it. I wanted to be that consumer where, did you back it even though you're waiting 5 years? Yes, I did. I backed a reprint of Godlike. Not Godlike 2, just the first one that was a reprint there. I don't know why. I could have just bought it from Savage Dad if I really wanted that bad, but I wanted to get into that 5-year wait for quality argument. I wanted to be in both of the aisles. But guys, no, anyone that tells you that waiting 5 years for a comic book for quality is a fucking retard. It literally, the slight bit of logic applied to it, their argument just falls apart. Really, it's like the abortion argument. Like when women say, "Oh well, the baby can take care of itself when it's out." It's like that might be the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard of in my entire life. Yeah, newborn baby could just eat for itself, know how to go to the bathroom, drink water. Yeah, crazy guys, you have to burp babies because they can't burp properly when they are just that young. They might choke on their food. You have to kind of make sure they're well taken care of. Any girl that says they can take care of itself after coming out of the womb is a retard. Really apply that level of logic there. That is top 5 dumbest things I've ever heard in my entire life. Like that, you would have to be so far gone away from reality to even say things like that. You would have to be so far in a cult to say things that are so just not true in any way possible. That makes no sense. Yeah, because 6-month-old babies could just take care of themselves. Just holy shit. Oh my God.
I've actually had luck with Kickstarter. I've done over 100 campaigns, and I've only had, I think, like 2 of them not fulfill the book, and one of them was the guy just disappeared, and then the other one was the guy just ghosted his backers, and he just ignores us now. And it's been like over 4 years on that one. So, but yeah, so I try to back more of the smaller creators. I noticed the bigger the creator, the harder it is to seem for them to get their fulfillment in order. And they're all seem to be busy doing other shit instead of working on the book. So I just stopped doing the big guys. And I usually just do the bottom little guys. And it's nice that they already have like issue 3 and do a catch-up tier because well, okay, they've already done 3. These guys are dependable. They're doing this shit. So a lot of people get turned off though by the people who don't fulfill, and it's sad.
Yeah, guys. Rob Liefeld, the person who created Deadpool or co-created Deadpool with Fabian Mazeika, his name actually, I think, where he literally hasn't fulfilled his I think he had an Indiegogo or Kickstarter campaign where it's going on 10 years now at this point. 10 years. I think he launched it in 2015, late 2014. He provides updates very rarely. Like, guys, that book ain't coming out. Even though this man could launch what's that book series he tried launching last year? Last Blood or whatever.
Youngbloods.
Youngblood. No,
Yeah, but
he
he's taking
has
that
Youngbloods and he has Last Blood. He tried to launch another book on Whatnot called Last Blood, and I'm sitting there going like, it's the character with like the giant helmet. It looks like fucking looks like Mordekaiser essentially, like where it's a helmet.
He's ready to relaunch Youngblood on
under Image Comics,
under WhatsApp. He's doing it on his own, I believe, right? Because he was talking about not going
back
to
Image.
shops.
Yeah,
he
went back to Image, and I remember he was like, "Yeah, I can't give this to comic book shops; they're gonna screw me over." And it's like, this is why that guy's weirdly bipolar. Then after that statement, he literally goes to Golden Apple Comics, which is a comic book shop in California. Actually, I bought my pull list from them one time when mycomicshop.com was people were aware for the holiday season, and they sent me the stuff. It was like they didn't send me the books, but God, and he went to a comic book shop to sell his Youngbloods. God, that guy's just weirdly bipolar. It's so hard to take that guy seriously sometimes when he's weirdly bipolar like that. Shits in the comic book shops, then goes to a comic book shop to sell Youngbloods. Really?
Yeah.
God. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna be getting into this and then getting to a topic very soon. Only have 2 more issues left of this, and then we will be doing. Okay, so what are we doing after this? So after Absolute Wonder Woman, we have the entirety of Absolute Superman to do still, and we have Rook Exodus, and we still have to. We'll probably do Ultimate Wolverine. That way we could get like just that done because it's only on the 2nd issue right now. So because we'll be around because you're not doing your vacation until it was like what the 2nd week of April. You said it was on the 10th. Right?
April 9th, I'll be gone.
So, essentially 2 weeks from now. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So Thursday, Friday, we have until then. So next Thursday, we'll do Ultimate Wolverine. We'll finish up this book at number 4. And then that last week, we'll do, I think we might start Rook Exodus or Absolute Superman, but we'll finish up Wonder Woman that following Friday. That way, when we come back, we just go on another book to start off with, because there'll be more books that have come out since then, because guys, he's going on vacation technically, and then I'm not going to be here that Thursday either. I'll be back late Friday. Now when I come back that late Friday, because I'll be in town that Friday, I'll have gone to work that day, there'll be no reviews. I'll be so tired. I'm going to fucking we're gonna do the show like usual, and we're gonna be just talking, because ain't no way I'm doing a review that week. Like, I'm not saying I don't like doing the reviews, but doing a review that day would burn my brain, like completely fry it. Honestly, I won't even be paying attention. I'll be literally reading, going, shit. All right, so that's kind of where I'm at right now with the Absolute Universe. Hopefully, the next arc can be good, because I can tell this arc is not bad. It's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable read so far. It's just I don't know if these books are going to have steam later in the future. I hope they do. Honestly,
Yeah. I got faith that Batman will. I'm not sure about Superman and Wonder Woman. I think so. It's a pretty badass book, so I think it will keep going.
Like, I don't hate the book. It's fine, but you have that gnawing feeling in the back of your head that this stuff is gonna just hit a ceiling and then completely just tank.
Yeah.
Like, and keep in mind, guys, I don't want that to happen. I would love if every single arc these guys put out with these Absolute books are good. That's why they had to launch Absolute Flash and Absolute Martian Manhunter and Absolute Green Lanterns are coming up very soon. I bought Absolute Flash. I did buy that. And I'm not getting Absolute Martian Manhunter. No way. Art looks too bad. That looks like crap. You couldn't pay me millions of dollars to review that dog shit. That looks like crap. Now, you get my money by producing good art. It looks like literal shit. I've showed you guys.
I'm going to pick up issue 1 just because I need to. I have to.
Man, the $5 I spent on that could be spent on Snicker bars, Reese's, fucking Kickstarts, bottles of water. So many things I could buy with $4.99. So many things. Buying that off $4.99 is like, that's not even enjoyment. That's just death, honestly. But I'll be getting Absolute Green Lantern. That I'm trying issue 1 out. If issue 1 does not convince me, I'm out. I'm literally out. That looks so unconvincing, but we'll see what happens, honestly. Like, hopefully Absolute Flash is good. That art, the cover art for cover A for Absolute Flash number 1 looked awesome, honestly. you know? So we'll see how it goes. Laps, comic fan, what's up, you white guy?
What's up, man?
Super everyone. I'm pretty sure you mean sup everyone. I just woke up in my work chair. Jesus Christ. How long were you asleep, you crazy man? But, oh, yeah. All right, we're going to be getting through this in just a moment here. As you guys know, me and Last Comic Fan, we're going to be doing a comic book review on Batman Hush coming up on Tuesday. Depending how long we take to do that, we might not have a topic on that Tuesday because that book is big. That's a big-ass book. Burned brain we're going to have here. We're going to be fucking fried. Laps is going to be giving me millions of dollars in back child support payments because it kind of find out he was my dad, so he kind of owes me child support payments. He was going to pay me in omnibuses. DC lied again. Absolute Batman number 6 is Zoo Part 6. Yeah. I mentioned that in my comic book market watch that I put out. Essentially, Scott Snyder said that issue 4 was a standalone issue, but I was thinking to myself, in that book, correct me if I'm wrong, when we reviewed that, did that book not say when you flip to get to the double page spread of the Zoo arc, it said part 4 of 5? I swear to God it said that, unless I just didn't notice, honestly. I think it said that. Let me go see really quick before you review. Let's see if we have it right here. Right here. I swear this thing said part 4 of 5, because he said that Absolute Batman number 6 is the 5th part to the Zoo arc. But then why not just make issue 4 and issue 5 a double-sized issue and then have number 6 just be the 5th issue? I don't get it. Like, why do you need a standalone issue already?
Why not just be the Zoo is 6 parts?
Yeah. Or just
that way.
Combine 4 and 5 and then have what? Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me look through right now. Because he said this was supposed to be a standalone issue. Let me see. Because I just don't know if it said it or maybe I just missed it. I could be wrong. No. Let me see. I could have swore it said Zoo here somewhere. No. If you actually flip through it, this is the only one out of the 5 that doesn't say the Zoo arc. Unless I'll flip through it one more time. I could be wrong. Nope. Apparently, this is just a standalone issue with the worst art on the book so far. Keep in mind, they hired a guy from the Philippines for 3 pennies a page, so I'd imagine it would come out that bad, you know?
Yeah,
like, that's so weird. I don't get... there was definitely a editing interference or I want to say, what do you call it? Miscommunication. There had to have been some miscommunication on maybe an editor part or the writing or the actual creative team, because
you can have 100 people look at these things and something will always slip through the cracks and editing wise, and
Yeah. I just don't get it though. Like, it's just Jesus Christ, it's fucking Scott Snyder. Holy fucking shit, dude.
It was good. That's all that matters.
Warren, he's doing that thing again. He's being the consumer.
It was good. I liked it. I liked all 6. 5 and 6 was good.
It literally said Zoo Part 6. Yeah, I knew it would. He said the first 5 books are the first. Whatever, doesn't matter. It's all technical nerd stuff here we're debating on. It's fine. Also, Laps is half asleep, and you're drunk too. All right, let's go. Let's have some fun, people. We're here for fun and quality content. Do you agree?
Yes.
Oh, I'm supposed to say no.
Damn. Oh, no, I do not agree.
Dang it, no.
I'm here for pessimism and misery. The world sucks. Don't go outside. Your future's over.
You're also here getting paid a fat sum of paycheck as well.
What? Really?
Oh my gosh. Lots of money to make here. They said a Snow White live action ends with a P. Diddy white party.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Oh no, Rachel Zegler going to P. Diddy parties and getting black. Oh no, Rachel Zegler. That's why she was so mad. She ain't got dick down in a while. Oh my god.
How is that movie doing it all anyways?
Do you think I went and watched that?
No, I was just wondering, like, box office wise, is it this weekend?
Apparently they had a fuck, I can't play that. Let me just make sure it's silent. There we go.
Oh yeah, there it is. P Diddy white party.
Oh god, man. But It made 3.5 million for Thursday night previews. I do know that. So
okay.
not off to a good
So
start. That's bad.
yeah,
That's very bad. A big
not
blockbuster
for
making
like
only
a
$3 million.
million. Yeah, not a $300 million movie.
Yeah, because people know that like Thursday previews are very important to movies because that generates the early word of mouth for them.
Yeah.
3.5, and people, well, you're a grown man. Why did you go watch Snow White? First of all, you're a grown man and you go outside fishing. Just point out there. You go outside and you fucking hunt. What the hell?
Because
I
people
don't
like
get
watching train wrecks. That's why.
like what is the difference between being a man and watching Snow White? I really don't get this. It's like you're a grown man. Why would you watch Snow White? Then by that logic, why enjoy anything?
It's true.
Does your age have an indication on cutting off when you would enjoy something? Keep in mind, if Snow White is intended for, because people keep saying this, oh, Snow White is intended for little girls. Okay, can little girls afford movie tickets? By that logic, then I guess it's, if we're gonna use that line of logic, which is so stupid, why not just have the women go buy it then? If it's made for them, have them go out and support it then. Don't blame men when it doesn't work, because remember you said, why would grown men watch Snow White? Keep in mind, I don't really care if I watch a girl or a male story, as long as it's good. I'm just gonna consume it. All of us growing up watched Powerpuff Girls, and we were like 6, 7 years old boys, guys. Like dudes, I mean, gay guys play with Barbies. You know, I wouldn't say I enjoyed Barbie actually. So yeah, I don't get why someone's age would have any indicator on why would they go and watch it, enjoy a movie. They don't correlate in any way, you know. Like keep in mind, I actually forgot Snow White was coming out this week. I thought it was coming out next week, but then again, you know, if I have a day off, I have to kind of pick and choose my battles here, you know. Like either I'm going earlier in the day to watch it, or I'm going like later in the day. And unless I go
I don't have the money to go watch what possibly could be a terrible movie.
Yeah. That's the thing is, let's be honest. Like, okay, I will give Disney credit here. Disney has been somewhat better than other studios at not like dumping their new blockbuster in like 3 to 4 weeks. They've been kind of good at that. But I don't know if this movie fails really hard, they might just dump this movie in about 3 weeks. And it's like, well, thank God I didn't go to the theater to watch that because you didn't value the experience of watching a theater anyway. You know, because Disney kept Wicked in the theaters for a while because Wicked was making a lot of money.
Well, Wicked was doing good, so yeah, I mean, it all depends. They got to make their money back. So if they have any kind of sign that they can do that in the box office, like if it does well overseas, in foreign markets along those lines, they'll milk it for all it's worth. But it all depends on how well it does. We'll have to find out on Monday what the end tally for the weekend was. I don't know if anything else came out this weekend, so I think it's kind of by itself during already kind of slow time in cinema, so it has some stuff going for it, you know.
Captain America: Brave New World is its only actual competition.
Yeah, and that one's already piddled off into to nothing. Like, so
just imagine it being challenged by nothing and it completely failing. That's sad. You actually have to compete against nothing, and you still lost. Like, as we talked about on the Wednesday show when we had our comic book hot take episode on here, you can make a successor in something. It's just you really have to find. I usually don't use this argument very like a lot when we talk here, but you do have to kind of you have to find the right person for that. It can't just be a
yeah. And they already had to do their refilming where they had originally planned the dwarves to be actual real people.
Oh my God.
People saw the videotape of it. Then they went back and added 7 CGI added dwarves. So that's, I mean, 300 million is what they're telling us. And they have a history of lying.
They've lied about a lot of budgets recently, Yeah,
you're talking about a possibility of up to a $500 million budget with advertisements because it's like half of the filming budget.
It got reshot after they had the Snow White and the 7 DEI hires. They reshot the entire thing because you have to add in the CGI dwarfs. But why didn't they? This company is talked about, oh, we love our minorities and marginalized people. You guys didn't use your minority or marginalized people in a Snow White movie that could have been giving them royalties for years to help them out. Like, they don't. It's so hard to tell these people they don't care about you. I don't know how to say it any more nicer or meaner. It's literally they don't give a fuck. They just say these things because they hope you will believe them to just be suckered into buying their shit or buying their line of bullshit they're going to sell you. How people believe that is insane.
The
honestly.
reason why it's bad is not because they're race swapping all the time or because they're doing, adding gay couples or all those. That's not what's making it bad. What's making it bad is they're doing it to pander. And when you do it to pander, you don't do it with any kind of real creativeness to it. So instead of hiring the right director, the right actors, and putting time and money into it, they're just like trying to do a checklist. And they're just trying to ram all this stuff in there, and they're interfering with their productions, and their budgets are blowing up. It happened over to Marvel with the Secret Wars show. I think that was like 200 million or something like that.
Secret Invasion, right? I think
Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
That was a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they're trying so hard to check these boxes to make this crowd that they want to make happy. But if you don't do it with any kind of genuine empathy about it, then you're going to get shit product, and that's what they're getting is shit product right now. I mean, the Sonic redo saved that movie. This redo is what is going to help destroy it. Like, you take $150 million movie and turn it into a $300 million movie because you have to add 7 CG dwarves and refilm a bunch of shit now because you got to make sure that she's lining up with the dwarves and the CGI and all this stuff. And then on top of that, your lead actress is flaming people that like the original story.
They didn't even have a premiere, remember?
She's like
a premiere.
She's like flipping people off during their first press tour. You could tell her and Gal Gadot hate each other, and Gal Gadot's way hotter than she is. So it's like that mirror must be broke as shit when it's all like, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of us all? And it looks right at Gal Gadot and says, that Renee chick over there, she's hotter than you are. It's like, no, get a new mirror. Get a new one. That one's not working.
That motherfucker has to be sold back to its factory. That shit is effective.
That's one of those whatnot fucking mirrors right there. They need to get a real one.
Speaking of absolute Batman, we'll go over it after the review because it's better to do that then. Got to get review done. We got to get the topics ready for you guys.
Get this review rammed out.
You think I was having sex with a girl before I started the show? Joke's on you guys. I wasn't. I'm a fucking incel nerd.
Yeah, we all know that.
Ah, fuck. He caught on that.
We all know.
Well, let's have some fun. Hey, everyone. I am MSK, a.k.a. Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to... Hold on. Wait a minute. What is Labs talking about? You wasn't doing what? You weren't beating off to me? Like, wait, that's kind of gay. What the fuck? Brain completely fried. Wow. What?
Do we need to reset?
They're doing crack!
Brain absolutely fried there. You guys saw that live.
Unplug you for 30 seconds and then plug you back in.
Or maybe I've been up too long. I got off early today, took just a random nap for like 40 minutes and then woke up. You ever have those really, really quick naps? You're like, okay, I'm dozing off. And you wake up, you feel like shit because they were only for like 30 minutes.
It's like, it's just ruins you for the rest of the day.
Oh, God. You said we were thinking you were having sex with a woman. I mean, you never know. You guys probably think of like, man, MSK, he just slays a lot of women. He probably just pounds them out really good.
Not never once.
Wow. Damn. God, no faith in your boy, huh? That's crazy. Maybe I can just go to a Diddy party, have some fun there. Comic books are for nerd losers. I gotta be hanging out with my peoples.
Wait for your mixtape to drop.
Hopefully you can pay for my sore butthole too. Gosh. All right. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the fuck. Wait a minute. Do you think I'm black?
Strike 2. All right.
Damn it. Strike 2. Damn. Okay. My brain's working, guys. I promise. We're gonna be on the third strike. We're out, kind of thing.
Focus.
Yes. Guys, I promise those weren't okay. I'll be honest with you, those weren't the real tries. Those weren't the real tries. We're fine.
All right, we
Woosah.
got this.
It's okay.
Woosah,
Our
woosah.
brains work. We're clearly not having sex here. Beside Last Comic Fan, when he's on the show, he always tells us, he's like, after this, I'm gonna go bang my wife, and we're like, interesting.
Must be nice.
Oh God, fucking hell. Savage Dad always talks about banging his wife, and I always ask him, like, do you think about me when you're banging your wife? He's like, nope. I'm like, good. God. All right. Let's bang my wife completely out. All right. We're going to get serious and provide you guys quality content. I'm joking. All right. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a comic book review on Absolute Wonder Woman #3. So, if you guys have not had a chance to check out our previous comic book reviews on Absolute Wonder Woman issues 1 through 2, I would highly recommend you guys go and check out those previous comic book reviews on Absolute Wonder Woman issues 1 through 2, because that way you can understand and figure out how we feel about those two issues compared to this one. So now we are on the third part of the Absolute Wonder Woman, the Last Amazon arc, currently right now. So this book has been, I would say, pretty enjoyable so far. Issue 1 was an absolute banger. Issue 2 was very much setting up to have this one, kind of carry off from that. And I would say for people who don't know this, comic books kind of fall into that range of like TV show episodes, kind of, where you have like a banger episode, one that has some downtime. Next episode has picking up more from that. And then we're now at a point where we are right now, which is me being a black guy.
No, fuck. No, Optimus, please. Fuck.
4 times the charm. Hold on. My brain completely fried again.
I was gonna say you're doing so good.
I'm lying. Okay, I'm going to entertain you guys, and I will literally have sex with 500 women. Okay, 100, honestly. Okay, I'm joking. All right, fourth time the charm. 3-pointer. I'm jumping, dunking. No, that's how it works?
No, but
okay.
You got this, though. I believe
someone's going to watch on the replay and go, these guys are fucking crackheads. That's what I want. The entertainment value is here. This is the best
Everyone
show
in the chat,
on YouTube.
We need you to believe it, and with your power of your belief,
just give me your power. I'm just pulling off the spirit bomb. Give me your energy. All right, let's get down to business. Oh my goodness. Hey everyone, I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, coming at you guys today with another video. And if you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. And in today's video, we are going to be doing a comic book review on Absolute Wonder Woman #3. So I highly recommend you guys go and check out our previous comic book reviews on Absolute Wonder Woman issues 1 through 2. That way you can understand and figure out how we kind of looked at those issues compared to this one. And I kind of always say that because, a lot of people will ask, like, how do you feel about the previous issues compared to the most recent one? So, just do this always when it comes to like the reviews in general, is that like, if we're going through like a Batman ongoing series or a Superman ongoing series, go and check out the previous comic book reviews we did on the previous issues. That way you can understand kind of how we feel about the arc building up. So specifically regarding with this one, Absolute Wonder Woman issue #1 was very, very good. Absolute Wonder Woman issue #2 set up, which led into this one. We are now currently at, what was it? Absolute Wonder Woman, The Last Amazon Part 3. That's kind of where we're at right now. Yes. part 3 of 5. Man, these double page spreads looking pretty good. White text, black font. No, I'm joking, guys. Imagine phrasing white text in black font in 2025. But I'll ask you, how are you feeling about this run currently so far now that we're on issue 3?
I'm liking it, but it is. Remember with issue 4 of Batman Absolute, where it was like the whole issue was showing Bruce in different eras and how it all played together and becoming who he was. I feel like that's what this entire 5-issue arc is. It's essentially like you're this one event on this coastal city, and then you're just going through and you're seeing how she got to here and how she became who she is. Because this one was kind of like felt like another setup one like the last one, except you get to find out more about how Steve Trevor came back, and then you're also delving more into her and her arm thing was wild, So yeah, it's I'm still liking it. It's just it's not building as fast as Batman is. Batman in its first 6 was like a roller coaster, really all sorts of stuff going on. This one is a little bit more straight to the line.
Yeah, I feel like this one is a mixture of a balance between a slice of life book and an action book, right?
Yeah.
So you get your, I would say, romance chemistry with Steve Trevor and Diana, and then you get the action part of it, and then it does a good job at least balancing out like the flashbacks and stuff like that. Now, my big issue here with just the book itself, as we've gotten to this part, is her arm not being there. So for those of you guys who don't know, in this book, we figure out how Steve Trevor got back to essentially, well, Earth. You would say like our realm, right? If you believe in a heaven or hell. I'm not religious, but I don't care, honestly. So Steve Trevor ended up coming back because Diana did a spell that put him back, actually. And that required her basically cutting off her arm and offering it as a sacrifice to send Steve Trevor back. Now, keep in mind, imagine you go out with a girl and she has a, what do you call it? When you amputate, there's that, prosthetic.
Amputee, a prosthetic, yeah.
Yeah. So imagine you go out with a girl and like you riz her up and she's into you and you go back to her place and, pants come off and she wants to obviously start, jerking you off. Imagine if she just had a mechanical arm. Like, imagine if she just had a. That's going to be probably one of the worst hand jobs you've ever received, honestly.
Depends if it has a jack-off mode.
Oh, shit. I'm just saying, that was just very odd that the only way to get him back was to basically have her cut off her arm and use that as a sacrifice. You couldn't just, like, sacrifice one of her eyes, You couldn't have her sacrifice anything else. It had to be one of her arms. She's an Amazon warrior. She needs to battle people. She's going to battle someone with the prosthetic? That's going to be...
It's magic, so it's essentially, she's not even missing it. So even the prosthetic she has is a magic prosthetic until she... Well, I don't want to spoil future reviews, but she doesn't stay with the prosthetic for very long, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like I would imagine she's gonna put her arm back because she said it's binded with magic. Like, please, because like that doesn't make any sense, guys, for an Amazon warrior to be fighting with a prosthetic. That's retarded.
At least make the prosthetic look all badass. Like the prosthetic looked like something from a science fair. It was very crude. But yeah, I mean, I like Diana though in this. I like the story.
Yeah.
I want to see where this goes. It just doesn't move. It's not moving very fast. And I don't quite know, like we know in Batman, like the Joker's right around the corner. We know that there's more stuff coming down the line. There's no of those overlooming threats in this book. It's more like just her mission to save this city from this Cthulhu monster, and I still like it. The artwork's beautiful. It's just it's moving a little slow.
Yeah.
I don't know how well this is going to do when it goes into its second arc.
Yeah, this is the book that I feel like, we haven't covered Absolute Superman here, so I don't know how that one's going right now currently, but we will be doing that at one point, guys.
Yeah.
Absolute Batman feels like it was pacing itself very, very well. Like each book kind of felt like you were progressing to something, you were getting to a point. Even when you had like issue 4, which is a standalone issue, you had a progression on Bruce's mindset with like how he had a relationship with his dad and everything. This one, I'll say it's not bad. Like, I'm not gonna look back on this series when we're talking about it at the end of the year, going like, man, did we hate the first arc of Absolute Wonder Woman? No, it's probably fine for the most part. It's just like, can this pace be a little faster? You know, because it feels like it's a book where issue 1 was really, really good. Out of the knockout, complete home run. Issue 2 is more like the slice of life stuff where, okay, we have this big villain at the end of the book, but we had a smaller, bigger villain, and it kind of feels like, okay, is there going to be an even bigger villain than this Tetracide kind of villain? Because they have that thing in their in the middle of their ocean where it could just spit out various giant monsters. It's like, do people know that's going to get old very quickly? Like they're going to have to change that up. I don't know if the third arcs are going to be that way, but this is a book, I would say, that I think is going to hit a ceiling and then massively drop off. That's what I feel. I don't know about Absolute Batman. I feel like that one's paced very well. I think they have a good idea about where they want to kind of take it. This one, I have no clue, honestly. Like, am I enjoying my ride? Yeah, I'm not hating it. It's fine.
Yeah.
But it's like, it feels like we're just kind of going through a lot of the same motions. Like, she sees a big monster, then she goes and talks to the army, and goes out, goes back to the army, tells them some more things, leaves them. See, Trevor talks to her. She goes out, fights, comes back, talks to the army, goes out. It just feels like it's very just repeating the same kind of steps over and over again. And I understand that. I don't feel like Kelly Thompson, she fucking blocked me on Twitter. That fucking stupid, ugly ass bitch. It doesn't feel like she's really taking any risk here with the book at all. It feels like it's very paint by the numbers. But it's not like bad.
Wonder Woman goes out to fight the Cthulhu monster, and then she loses her arm. She comes back, puts on a prosthetic, and does a bunch of talking and dialogue, and the monster's barely moved from the point when she left.
And she built this monster up as it's supposed to be really, really dangerous.
Now, the monster does feed off of fear, and she did establish that it sends out a sound wave that will draw people to it. It's like the death of fear, so it makes people no longer afraid. But at the same time, though, it's kind of like Wonder Woman took care of it really easy by making the whole city deaf, and then I don't know. It's not moving very fast. It's one of those things where it's like, I wish it was a little bit more felt like more of a threat, And what's also weird too is it doesn't feel like the same world as Absolute Batman. Like they don't, the books, all 3 books so far, and even I've just perused through Flash really quick. They all feel like separate universes. There doesn't really feel like there's a connection. And I think that has a lot to do with
Diana
just the visual.
Mentioned other heroes. Remember in issue 2, I think she was talking about other heroes. So, and like you said there too, I was thinking about that too. Even when I was reading Absolute Batman, when we finished issue 5, when I reviewed it with Last Comic Fan, these don't feel like they're very interconnected. They all just feel like, okay, this is just the Absolute universe, and it's all just very standalone. Yeah,
it's like the entire United States of America would be talking about it if a 100-story tall Cthulhu monster was outside of San Francisco, and a one-armed Amazon was fighting it on a skeleton horse. People are going to talk about it. So I know, like, aesthetically, it's not all going to look the same because they're allowing some real artistic looks for these books. Because, like, the Martian Manhunter looks like a completely different world. That looks like a Picasso painting more than it does any of the other worlds. So it'll be interesting to see, because they're advertising bringing all of this together, bringing mainline and bringing absolute universes together. There was a big poster for it at the comic book shop when I went to pick up my pull list. And it'll be interesting to see how they collide these together. Is it going to collide together and create a new universe? They're just going to grab what they like out of each one. I don't worry about Absolute Batman, but Absolute Wonder Woman, I'm kind of like, I'll stick around for the next arc. But if it doesn't start picking up, if I don't see like a main villain, a mission, something going on, then I'm gonna probably just kind of tap out. I really love the weapons though and the artwork, so I might stick around longer than I probably would normally, because if it's good artwork, I'll stick around for a while. But it does feel like I wish it could get. I wish it had a little bit more purpose to it. You know?
Yeah, because that's why I said it just feels very pained by the numbers. They're just doing things that just go through the motions. I hope in issues 4 and 5, when we cover them, you know, it feels like, okay, we finally got to a conclusion, and these other parts we're going to look back on and go, okay, this was just a lot of setup, but it really had a lot of purpose. Because before we get into the book, guys, on Twitter, because we were talking about this in this review, so it was very important to the review itself, they announced that Absolute Wonder Woman's next arc is going to be the Lady of the Tiger.
Okay.
Or sorry, Absolute Wonder Woman, the Lady or the Tiger. Yeah, I think I said that right. Or maybe I just had too much sex with my wife. Joking, guys, joking. It's going to be only 2 parts, right? Because I think that's where this book would do better at, in 2-part storytelling.
Yeah.
Because I think like longer form storytelling of it needs to either be 1 less issue, or just needs to be 2 parts. Like on Absolute Wonder Woman number 6 might be coming up, because it's like, you know, this is one of those books where I feel like it starts off very strong, but then they're going to run out of ideas very, very quickly about where to take the character. Because that's the problem with Wonder Woman, usually as a character, where, like, you know, I'm admitting this, guys, I haven't read too many runs from her. I have only skimmed through a lot of stuff by her throughout her comic book life, right? But she is typically not as interesting as Flash, Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, Shazam, Aquaman, Green Arrow, a lot of those guys, you know, like she's very popular, and I'll always give her due. She's a popular character, but popularity doesn't mean people care about her comic runs. No one really ever mentions, beside like George Perez's run on Wonder Woman, any runs they really like out of her, you know?
Yeah.
It feels like it's just affinity for the character just because she exists, rather than actual like books being good. Or I don't think we've even read that shit.
Yeah, the Absolute version makes her feel more like the Warden of Hell. Like she's there. Her purpose is she's definitely a warrior.
Mm-hmm.
And her purpose is to keep these things in check. I just wish it was a little bit more, like, even if the Cthulhu monster would talk and she had some kind of history with it, like that helped define the story a little bit more, or her background, or some other character, like some kind of I don't know, mage type, you know, demon lord kind of character that kind of intersects with her past, so that we could have some more threat. Right now it's just her stopping this kind of invasion on the city that we really don't know why it's happening, and there's no explanation of, you know, what's going on, or along those lines, which is fine for 1 or 2 issues, but it's good to like point us somewhere, not go all 5 just kind of setting this up, because you got to be careful. She could be setting up for something awesome, but you got to be careful that you don't lose your fan base trying to get there and taking too long to get there. Now, there has been a lot of good action and stuff like along those lines, but at the same time, I'm just like, you know, it's you're fighting this Cthulhu monster, and you're lucky that this thing is really freaking slow. So then that way you can go and talk with Trevor and talk with the army guys and tell generals to fuck off, and then, you know, put your robot arm on and then go out and fight some more. Like I hope there's more to it, where we'll get to see more of like, is there a villain? Is it tied in with the other characters? Is she going to be, you know, like, how is this all going to work out in the long run?
Yeah, because on Batman, given how his universe is always kind of structured out with random people, there's so much there you can tackle, even if you're doing a retelling, right? To the point where you have so much to play with. When it comes to this book, I feel like, I don't know, I just have a weird feeling it's just going to lose steam. Like, it feels like it would be if the next arc is only going to be 2 parts, you know?
Like, even if you made it just like, if we were in the right editor's room with this, it's like, okay, well, why are the demons attacking? Well, do we make it Ares? What is Zeus's, the head of hell? I forgot his name, but there is a Greek god that is the the
It's
god of
Hades usually for her,
Hades.
right?
Yeah. Like Hades should be, even if he's not directly talking with Wonder Woman, part of the story, some kind of villain, it should be there, and we know what's going on. Especially when you're talking about 5 issues, we should know by the 3rd or 4th issue who the bad guy is. Batman, it was a Black Mask for this first arc, leading up to a battle with Black Mask. So we had a very fulfilling arc, and then you also get to learn about the new Batman, and everything's cool. With this one, it's like she's fighting nameless Cthulhu monster, and the Cthulhu monster doesn't talk, and eventually she just has to get a big enough gun to kill it. So it's like I don't really.
Yeah, we moved from the Harbinger so quickly to get to this Tetracide monster, and it's like because the thing is, she says she's not strong enough to beat it, but just willing, because that's just who she is. She just always will go and fight it, which is very like, if this thing is as strong as she says it is, then she should be kind of just KO'd instantly. You would think by how she herself has built it up. All right, so let's go through it. So it starts off with this reporter lady right here, kind of just in awe of what's happening. So picking up where we left off in the last issue with issue number 2, the Tetracide has appeared, and then Diana flies back to the army guys that she was talking to in the last issue with Steve Trevor. So here's essentially what she said it can do. So gonna have to probably go through a lot of these so you guys can get an understanding of how strong this big monster actually is, because the reason why we mentioned all that before in the review is to say of how strong this thing really is. We have to probably just point out all these things she said about it. So essentially, the Tetracide is a being where, she said, because what the Tetracide means by death of fear is that you are no longer capable of feeling fear when you see it, and you are instead drawn to it. So essentially, it unleashes this sound where you're essentially drawn to it, and more people are going to be basically kind of killing each other, beating each other up, assaulting each other to get inside of this beast that they probably think is like some heaven or whatever. Like it works in a way where I've seen this happen in a lot of movies and TV shows where you have like this being where that'll emit this sound and then people will come to it like they're just hypnotized or whatever. So it's basically just full-blown hypnosis going on essentially. And then she says, very soon the Tetracide will begin to emanate a sound. It will be loud and sharp. It will travel for miles. And when people hear that sound, they will be drawn to it like bees to honey. They will do anything to be with the sound. They will walk right into the Tetracide's jaws, where one dies in agony, a death of mind, body, and soul. And the death of the soul, I don't want to be dramatic, but the people who are cursed to death in the race to the Tetracide's maw will be the lucky ones. So yeah, pretty powerful villain right there. And then, she even says her Pegasus can't really follow her because just it's already from hell. So it would be so easy to attract it to just obviously kill it, obviously. So she tries fighting it right here. She throws the sword at it, hitting it in one of its, hitting it in the head. Then she tries tying it with a lasso of truth right there. Then after that, she tries tying it more. One of the tentacles from the Tetracide throws the sword in the water, which is very weird because I thought she was going to go back and grab her sword because why not have it? I thought she was just going to go get her sword again. But, she grabs an axe, actually, and she starts slicing through tentacles again right there. Then you get your double page spread. After that, flashback goes into her and Steve Trevor, where, they're talking about like his time on Earth, and, she wants to obviously get him back. That's the most part of their flashback, honestly. And this book, which leads into this part, which is Diana found out a way to get Steve Trevor back, but it involves her basically kind of like, losing her arm for that. Her mother doesn't really approve of it, but later on goes with it. And then later on, she sends Steve Trevor back to Earth with that dark magic spell. Man, Kelly Thompson must be into some weird shit. She's talking about dark magic here and spells and everything. Hey, yo. So then we go back to Gateway City where, she's getting obviously entangled in the Tetracide. So how did you feel about this part right here?
Oh, the arm part that we're talking about? I thought
Yeah.
that was weird. It's interesting. It really it does tie these two characters together more than in the past because now, she essentially sacrificed her warrior's arm for his return. And he realizes that when he sees her without the arm and it shows her pulling out the prosthetic out of her magic bag and hold everything. And so yeah, it creates a real good dynamic between them. It was kind of weird and startling. I'm glad I read 5 and 6 or 4 and 5, so I know what happens because I was not happy with the design of the prosthetic, but it's more of a holding place than anything else.
Yeah.
And,
so after that, we ended up at a part where, her arm's off again. She has a prosthetic, and the arm that she had was just basically just tied up in magic, honestly, So
Yeah.
Steve Trevor talks to her, and basically he wants to go with her. She doesn't really want him to. She goes out again. She finds that reporter lady. The reporter lady I guess she's studying like Amazons, and she coins the term Wonder Woman right there. So, later on, she'll be obviously called Wonder Woman, So what'd you feel about that?
I thought that was pretty cool. Like the whole, it was interesting because she definitely seems like she's taken with Wonder Woman. And it's almost like a Lois Lane, Clark, or Superman kind of relationship. I almost feel to it. I don't know if they meant that or not, but it's interesting. Diana's looking, she does look badass in it, and the art's good. It's just like at the same time, it's just like wow, there's a lot of like this monster's still not to the shore yet. Is he just chilling out in the water, just sort of standing there?
Yeah, I don't know. Like the tetracide, apparently, even given how strong it is, it doesn't move. But I guess that's the reason why it emits that sound. So it's supposed to just draw people to it. It's not, I guess, supposed to just move.
Yeah.
I guess that's how I thought of it. So after that, she introduces herself as Barbara, and then after saying Wonder Woman to her, she doesn't really pay any attention to it. She introduces herself as Diana to that girl. And then, was that all that girl was for? Just a plot device to just say, "Hey, you're Wonder Woman." Okay,
yeah,
guess.
she might play more into it in the future. I don't know. It's one of those things where this feels like a real long-term setup. Like they're setting up a long-term story.
Mm-hmm.
It is interesting to find out that the next arc is only 2 pages or issues long. So yeah, it'll be interesting.
After that, Wonder Woman pulls out this orb from her. Some would say, what's that thing called, the fanny pack we used to have back in the day?
Yeah, it's like your fanny pack of never ending.
No one could ever make fanny packs good. No one could ever make those cool. But she pulls out this magical orb from her fanny pack, and then she gets the attention of the news reporter, and then basically is drawing up this spell to the point where she is going to make everyone deaf, actually, so they don't hear the sound of the tetracide. Which is a pretty cool idea. Like, if everyone's deaf, they can't hear it, then they obviously won't be getting entranced by its hypnosis, And then later on in the book, she coins herself at, Wonder Woman believes in you. She believes in the goodness of the people to obviously not, so she believes that the people that will be entranced under her spell to be deaf, to not be, hypnotized by the tetracide, she believes that they're not going to be able to. She believes that they'll be able to basically kind of,
help each other out and be peaceful. And it was a great Wonder Woman kind of deal. Her compassion really shows through with this writer, and I like that part of it. It was kind of this like it's almost a callback to the second movie where she's like talking to everyone and be it's kind of a callback to that. But it's interesting though. It's like I'm just going to make you guys all deaf, and then I'm going to go kick this Cthulhu monster's ass out here in the port.
Yeah, because essentially, if everyone's kind of like in sync and they understand what's going on, because she's broadcasting it to everyone, then they'll understand. But she believes that even if you're deaf, you're going to be able to be a good person. That's crazy because we know the average person's not doing that. But that's just the fucking.
Oh, they'd be robbing shit within 5 minutes of her doing it. They're probably already robbing shit right now. So there's a giant Cthulhu monster out in the port. You grab the sneakers, grab the fucking TVs, grab whatever you can. But
So
yeah,
after that, that pretty much ends it because she pretty much puts that giant spell on everyone, and she's counting on everyone to not go crazy with everyone being deaf, and then that's when the book kind of just ends right there. So yeah, overall, not a bad issue. I would say it's fine. It was okay. I hope the issues 4 and 5 are stronger and a lot more better at finishing off this first arc for her. But I'll ask you, what are your closing thoughts on Absolute Wonder Woman issue number 3?
it's still a decent comic book. I wish it was a little bit faster or had a little bit more meat to it when it came to like what's going on. I do like the way they're handling Diana, and I like the way that they're kind of making more of a dynamic for Steve Trevor and her's relationship. And it's so far still a good book. I still like it.
You still have any hopes it could get stronger and have a better closeout the last 2 issues? I don't know. I hope.
This Diana can. I just don't know if the writer is going to be able to do it. I don't know, because it feels like they're playing a long game. There's like a lot of threads that are going to be left unanswered at the end of this arc. And it's kind of like, okay, well, I hope you guys have a lot more planned, because there's a lot of shit going on here that we don't quite know what's going, if it's going to finish that. How important is this Barbara character? Steve Trevor, he's seems much more connected to her this time. So how is that going to play out? The military, the military, she's very inspirational in it. Like there's even one point where she's like, in the future books, she's essentially in charge of the military around there at that point, and everyone's like listening to her, yes ma'am, no ma'am, and it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Like the arc number 2 will be very important.
Yeah. So for me, my closing thoughts and opinions are like we are basically at a point of Wonder Woman in the Absolute Universe, for at least this version of her, being in a slice of life romance action book. That's kind of what we're at right now. I hope the last 2 issues are bangers, like the first issue, where we can finish off this first arc on a high note. I just don't know if this book has really any staying power, because we know moving forward, based off what was leaked, the next arc is only going to be 2 issues, so like, I hope that's not going to be the thing for all the Absolute books, where they're going to have really like high highs and then the ceiling is just there. And then it's going to just teeter off when they basically just kind of blow out all their good ideas, honestly, because there's only just so much you can do, even in an alternate universe. There's only so much stuff you can really cover, and only so much story that you can really have there, to the point where it's like, okay, what are we even doing here anymore? Because that's what happened with the original Marvel Comics Ultimate Universe. It just started going off the rails so hard on everything. No one even knew what the fuck it was doing anymore,
Yeah. The Ultimates, I remember the first one, it was good for about 20 or 30 issues, and then it really started petering off, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Bendis held up Ultimate Spider-Man, I thought, for a lot longer. Like, he did really good with that one. But the rest of the Ultimate books were not... they didn't go great forever. They started off
the best
good.
One was Mark Miller's The Ultimates, and X-Men was okay for the Ultimate Universe.
Good art. It was okay. Wolverine essentially killing Scott was pretty crazy.
Like Wolverine trying to have a relationship with a 16-year-old Jean Grey. These people are weird in Marvel. Holy shit.
Oh, I know. They love that shit.
Oh god, because they're fucking weirdos. But yeah, overall, I hope Absolute Wonder Woman last 2 issues, before we review them, hopefully they end off with a banger, because I don't know, guys, starting to see some red flags here. I don't hate the issue, but it's like, okay, can we kind of pick up the pace here, a little bit. Slice of life is cool and all, but pace it better. So thank you guys for checking out this video. If you guys are returning viewers or new viewers, then please consider subscribing to the channel if you have not already. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and comment down below. Also, make sure you guys hit the notification bell. That way you guys can get notified on whenever I upload a brand new video. I am MSK, aka Master Swag King, and we're going to sign out, guys. See you guys later. Deuces. Peace. All right. Can you hear that?
No, I can't hear it. No.
there's this black guy playing music outside.
Oh,
that's why I was muting, because I didn't know if you guys could hear that on the review. So like, I never take those chances, because if you guys can hear them on the review, that'd be just very, very weird. But oh, this is your Dennis.
Hey, on Wednesdays, how's it going?
Isn't Dennis? Is that you, or you're the guy that runs that channel? I forgot. But if you're Dennis's friend, or if you are Dennis, you stopped after issue 3. Oh shit. Oh, awesome. What happened? Did it? Where did Absolute Wonder Woman touch you? Where did it touch you, man?
Probably that little spaghetti prosthetic arm.
Oh, you're Brian. You run it. Oh, okay. Yeah. Tell Dennis I said hi. I love talking to Dennis. Dennis is awesome.
And you know, if you haven't yet, follow Beyond Wednesday. They got a great shows. They really.
Are you trying to get us to cross over? Are you trying to get Beyond Wednesday as one of the boys?
Well, he's got a huge following, man. So if we
whoa,
fans back.
I got some clout here too. You know, Beyond Wednesday, I can give you clout if you really want it. I can just blow it into you.
I'm trying to blow up the channel, man. We're on now.
But Beyond Wednesday, are you liking the Absolute universe so far? We've covered Absolute Batman 5 issues. I read number 6, and I just finished this. I just have to read Superman so far. Oh gosh.
I read 6, and I need to read Superman. I got the first 5 of Superman, but I haven't read them yet. And I've read all 6 of the Batman, and I've read all of the Wonder Woman too. See, okay, I haven't read the Supes yet. I'm glad to hear that it's good. I'll definitely check that one out.
Okay, so I found where they're at. They're over there by my bank, just sitting there playing loud music.
Oh, all right.
God, what the fuck? Just my luck. God damn. Fuck. God, Batman and Supes are amazing. See, I didn't hear very good things about Absolute Superman, but you know, when I read it and review it, then I'll give my opinion on it. You know, I never give my opinion on something that I haven't read or watched, and that goes for like any movie or TV show or any of that shit. Honestly, you know, he wants to grow, not get canceled. Lies. I would never cancel Beyond Wednesdays. I will be his dad. Beyond Wednesday, are you white? I feel like you're white. You probably had a dad and a mom. You grew up with money. I can be your son. I need child support.
Oh man.
But yeah, I didn't want to do this, guys, tonight, but consider the fact that music is very loud and probably not ending anytime soon, which is so fucking stupid. That's just my luck. Won't have time for a topic tonight. I'll have to just put it off until next week.
Yeah,
do you have anything?
We can just do it next week too.
That's fine. Do you have anything you want to shill before we head out, and you want to plug?
No, man, I'm good for tonight. I need to set up some stuff, but yeah, everything's going good. Issue 4, I'll be working on that here soon. Watch me do it on TikTok, and I'm going to start streaming it on YouTube as well. Even though live draw streams on YouTube do terrible, I still might do it. So, you know, whatever. I don't care what YouTube says. I'm just going to do it.
Yeah, just my luck. Just my fucking luck. So maybe next Friday we just, we started to do Absolute Wonder Woman number 4 and 5. So we might do Absolute Wonder Woman number 4 coming up on Thursday, and then potentially just do topics for Friday, because we do have to get some of these topics done. There's a lot piling up that I have to get done. God, man. I don't even want to put them off, but it's like, you know, what the fuck, man?
Well, I mean, yeah, we can always hit it up later, man. We can, you know, we'll get it done.
Yeah, and keep in mind, I have to wake up at 6 a.m. anyway around that time, so you know, it's fine. I have like 2 hours of free time. I could just basically just relax and chill and start clipping out other videos. There's a pile of videos I need to clip out and get uploaded. Oh my god, you guys, I'm behind actually. So when you guys reload, when you guys see this episode after it's over, I'll just have a different title than Spider-Man and Wolverine. I wanted to go over it, but it's okay. It's fine. Black people just ruining my life. It's okay. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, hopefully you guys had a great week. Hopefully you guys had a great day. And tomorrow we'll have a episode of the MSK show. We're gonna have a guest. We're gonna have BS Warren on that one, actually. And we're gonna have a guy that's gonna be running a Kickstarter, honestly, for his indie comic book. So hopefully it's good. I hope. Venturing out into the open forest again and seeing if I'm going to get eaten by a pack of wolves. But yeah, thank you guys for checking out this episode of the MSK show, and We'll see you guys.